5 smartphone features that secretly change everything. What if I told you that some of the most useful features on your smartphone are the ones most people never touch? Not because they're hidden, not because they're complicated, but because nobody ever shows you why they matter. The surprising part? These features can reduce manual work, improve battery life, reduce distractions, strengthen security, and completely change how you use your phone every single day. And by the end of this video, there's a good chance you'll start using your smartphone very differently, because feature number 5 is something most people have available right now, but almost nobody uses properly. NexveroLab, so where we test products and break down what's actually worth your money. Smartphones have become incredibly powerful. Modern devices can replace cameras, GPS units, notebooks, music players, wallets, and even laptops for many tasks. But here's the problem. Most people use only a small fraction of what their phones can actually do. They scroll, they text, they watch videos, and that's about it. Meanwhile, some of the most useful capabilities sit quietly in the settings menu, waiting to make everyday life easier. Today, we're looking at 5 smartphone features that secretly change everything. Not gimmicks, not marketing tricks, real features with real-world value. Let's start with one that can instantly make your phone feel smarter. Feature 1, focus modes. At first glance, focus mode doesn't sound exciting. In fact, it sounds boring. But this is where things get interesting. Most people don't have a technology problem. They have an attention problem. Notifications arrive constantly, messages, emails, social media alerts, news updates, calendar reminders. Every interruption breaks concentration. Research consistently shows that recovering focus after a distraction can take far longer than people expect. Focus modes help solve this. Instead of turning off everything, you create custom environments. One for work, one for studying, one for sleep, one for personal time. When activated, only the apps and people you choose can reach you. Everything else stays silent. The result feels surprisingly powerful. Your phone stops controlling your attention. You start controlling your phone. And that's a much bigger difference than most people realize. Feature 2, live text and visual search. Now let's talk about something that feels almost futuristic. Modern smartphones can read text directly from photos. Apple calls it live text. Google offers similar capabilities through Lens. And honestly, many people still have no idea how useful this is. Imagine seeing a Wi-Fi password written on a wall. Instead of typing it manually, you point your camera at the text and copy it. Need a phone number from a business card? Take a photo. Need to translate a menu while traveling? Take a photo. But here's the crazy part. These systems don't just recognize words anymore. They can identify products, landmarks, plants, and animals. Your smartphone camera is becoming a search engine, and that fundamentally changes how we interact with information in the physical world. What used to require typing now often requires only pointing. Feature 3, adaptive battery intelligence. Battery life remains one of the biggest frustrations for smartphone users. People constantly ask the same question. Why does my battery drain so fast? Sometimes the answer isn't the battery, it's the app's behavior. Modern smartphones increasingly use AI-driven battery management systems. These systems learn your habits over time. They identify which apps you use frequently, which apps do you rarely open, which processes run unnecessarily in the background. Then they quietly optimize power consumption. Most users never notice this happening, and that's exactly the point. The best technology often works invisibly. Some phones even learn your charging routine to reduce long-term wear. Nobody talks about this because it's not flashy, but over months and years, these small optimizations can significantly improve the ownership experience, especially if you keep your phone for several years. Feature 4, emergency safety features. This might be the most important feature on this entire list, because it isn't about convenience. It's about protection. Modern smartphones now include remarkable emergency capabilities: crash detection, emergency SOS, medical ID access, location sharing during emergencies, satellite communication on select devices. Many users never set these up, and hopefully they'll never need them. But if they do, the value becomes obvious. Imagine being involved in an accident and being unable to call for help. Certain smartphones can automatically detect severe impacts and contact emergency services. That's not science fiction. It's available today. They're no longer just communication devices. They're safety tools. A few minutes spent setting up emergency contacts and medical information could make a meaningful difference during a crisis. It's one of the highest value settings you can configure and one of the most overlooked. Feature 5. AI-powered on-device assistance. Now we arrive at the feature that's quietly changing the future of smartphones. Artificial intelligence is built directly into the device, not just cloud-based AI, on-device AI. And this is where things get really interesting. Modern smartphones can now summarize content, transcribe conversations, and remove unwanted objects from photos. They can enhance images, translate speech in real time, rewrite text, organize information, and increasingly predict what you need before you ask. The shift is integration into everyday tasks. Instead of opening separate apps or searching manually, the phone increasingly assists behind the scenes. The result is less friction, less effort, less wasted time. Of course, there are trade-offs. Privacy concerns still matter. Not every AI feature is equally useful, but the direction is clear. AI is becoming a core feature rather than an optional add-on. And over the next few years, this may become one of the biggest factors influencing which phones people buy. So which of these smartphone features actually matters most? If productivity is your goal, start with focus modes. If you work with information, live text and visual search are key. If you want long-term ownership, adaptive battery delivers value. If safety is a priority, configure emergency features immediately. And for the future, watch AI-powered assistance. The smartest upgrades aren't always hardware. Sometimes they're sitting in your pocket right now. If you found a feature you weren't using, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to NexveroLab for more honest reviews and AI tool testing. The best tech isn't always the newest, it's what you haven't fully unlocked yet.